Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Curse of the Collector. I'm your host, Pete Pardo, publisher of Sea of Tranquility, and we've got the crew with us once again here on this glorious Sunday. Let's introduce the folks on the panel. We've got Nick Yusofian in the basement of box sets. That's what the basement of box sets. That's what we were going to call that room now. Look at that. Holy moly. That's a lot of stuff. We got Armando Venditti from Canada. We've got Jamie Laszlo, who soon will have a very cool Universal Monsters rug, I hear. We'll talk more about that in the weeks to come. Yep. We got all the way from Scotland. We got Davey Gallagher and the man from Texas, Scott Berry. What's happening, gentlemen?
Pretty good. Nothing shaking but leaves on the trees. How about you?
Waiting for rain. Waiting for rain, drinking some tea, you know how it goes.
Nursing my hangover.
Yeah.
They're all hideously hungover, folks. Hideously hungover.
Not me.
Especially Armando.
Don't believe the hype.
As Phil used to sing, don't believe a word. Anyway,
exactly.
We've got once again, we've got some collectibles and cool things that we've purchased. So we got 2 rounds in us, as always. So we've assembled our stuff and we're here to talk about it. So we're going to go, this is the order we're going to go in today. We're going to go Nick, Armando, Jamie, Davey, Scott, and myself. And we'll go around one more time. So Nick, what do you got to show us off first today?
All right. Now, recently I acquired even more concerts. Surprisingly, I'm actually I've got like back there. I've got like 300 of them. So recently, I got Majesty, Metal Law, Axel, Rudy, Pell and Friends, Magic Moments.
What year is that from?
2015.
Oh, okay, it's fairly recent.
Toy live at the Royal Albert Hall. This is a Devin Townsend project with this alien-looking motherfucker.
With his circle on the cover.
Yeah.
I know what you're referencing. Recently, Peter Gabriel, because I know he was the charismatic frontman of Genesis. Here's front to back to front, whatever. Savage Circus live in Atlanta. Anathema, A Moment in Time. Arjun Anthony Lucason's Star One live on Earth.
Oh, that's a good one.
Where do you get this stuff?
The day the Earth shook, the absolute power. I've already got like parts 4, 5, and 6. Rhapsody of Fire, Visions from the Enchanted Lands.
How do you have time to watch all this is the better question.
Watch?
Yeah, it's a 2-parter.
New York, the Northern Radio Orchestra and Choir Forces of the Northern Night, whenever I just happen to have the time when I come home from work or whatever. I come home from work around 12:30 EST, 12:30 a.m. EST, 17 minutes to drive home. So I might just pop one in every once in a while. So
that from do you get most of those from your local guy? I know you got that that really cool store down near you.
That's just online.
Oh, okay.
This one took a while to find, the Devin Townsend project. This one is very out of print. There's the 10 LP version, but I don't want any more space taken up. I'm looking at like 1,600 records right now. And I'm like, I'm going to get this rare CD one. I must have spent like, close to 3 weeks to a month trying to find it.
So what's that one again? I couldn't really read the...
Devin Townsend.
Devin Townsend. Oh, okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to buy anything else.
And everybody, yes, Nick did just open that box set.
Yeah. With no
catches on that one.
That's
it just
good,
folds
actually.
right open.
Nice.
That was yeah.
No latches
sure
involved.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that other one open, Nick?
I did. That will be making an appearance.
Don't threaten us.
He's got to
You
build
got
up
it
to
open.
it.
I mean, that's a good thing, right? I mean,
All right, so that's pretty much mine.
Take a blowtorch.
All right, cool. Armando.
Good morning, everybody. Bob is going to be joining me right now on this session because the two that I have to show are quite expansive in terms of opening and stuff. The first one is from IQ. And it's a box set that it's been re-released in 2021. It's called the Archive Collection. It's a 12 disc set, 11 CDs, and 1 Blu-ray. And it's, there we go. We're going to open it up a little bit here. You can see, I'll just readjust.
There you go. Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. He's doing his best Vanna White. We couldn't get him a sequin top to wear yet. So, I mean,
Okay.
nothing off the shoulder, right? So
Next time.
but you
Not on
got
a Sunday, please.
no, of course not. You know, it's the Lord's Day. You know. But you've got pictures here of the band, of some live shots. And this is a pretty expansive set. It's 3 full concerts from 2003 to 2017. I'll go through the list here. I've written it down. You have, in this collection, you have IQ 20. You have the Frequency Tour. You have a disc that's called Remixed, which has got different versions of tracks. There's a version of, they do a version of David Bowie's Suffragette City on that disc. You also have IQ 30, The Road to Bonus, which has got studio run-throughs from tracks from The Road to Bones. You have also Live on the Road to Bones. And you have also, which is, I believe it's exclusive to the set, Tales from a Dark Christmas, which features original tracks, 6 tracks. And yeah, it's quite expensive. I was able to watch last night on the Blu-ray. There's the Subterranean Hearts show from the Netherlands that was done October 22nd, 2011. It runs at 100 minutes long. And guys, I am telling you, yeah, Bob, you can put it down for now. Thank you so much. And he's so wonderful, guys. I'm telling you, he's an amazing person. Anyways, watching the show, like I felt like I was watching early Genesis with Peter Gabriel, like Foxtrot era, because there's a very, very theatrical piece. He changed Peter Nichols, who is an amazing vocalist, very unique, because people have said to me, I either get him or I don't. I don't understand where he's coming from with his vocal style. But I said, you have to just listen to him over and over again just to get get used to the vocals. It was a very, from the shot angle of the show, it looked like they were filming from like a quarter of the way back. Very intimate setting. And it was just and the guitarist, Michael Holmes.
Yeah, Mike's great.
Oh my God, I swear to God, I thought he reminded me of Steve Hackett in his approach, and the Subterranean Heart, it was going to be, I did my research last night before I went to bed. It was going to be developed into a movie. The script was written in 2012. It was never finished. It was never done. IQ did the music for the soundtrack for the movie. It was turned into a Michael Holmes solo album, which I found in Discogs, by the way. And I'm going to be picking it up at some point. So yeah, that's my first pick. And in terms of price range, this is a reissue, it was a repressing of it. Yeah. So it went for about, on Amazon direct, for about $150. So for what you get, you can't go wrong with it, right? I mean, just sit, and guys, again, like I've said, sit and invest the time to listen to this stuff, this music. It's amazing. I was literally transfixed.
There's nothing like a good, nice looking box set. I don't know about you guys, but I just got in a really cool box set yesterday that I will be talking about this coming week on the Monsters Den. but I got it in. It's nice. I get the same feeling that when you were a kid and you got a cool new toy and you wanted to sleep with it that night. I'm like, I might sleep with this tonight. You know, is that
It's
weird?
Christmas.
You're so
I
excited.
still get that.
Yeah,
I'm just
don't
gonna
wanna let
say,
go.
I want to just walk around the house with this for
Yeah.
yeah,
2
I
weeks.
still get that feeling when I find a set like this, and for the price range, I mean, and for what you get, you can't go wrong with it. So,
And I've seen IQ live twice, and they're spectacular.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times, and I wouldn't say to them about the Genesis comparisons because they hate that nearly as much as the Marillion comparisons, to be honest. But
Well, I mean, that's the only literally watching this, and I won't, carry on too much. I'm just saying, literally watching this last night, that's the only comparison I could come up with.
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody brings it.
yeah, it's
hard
the
not
first thing
to.
you will read. You will read in the
it's-
first paragraph of it. You will read Genesis or you will read Marillion. That is the two things you will always read about IQ.
But
It's
like
a great
when I-
conundrum. Most bands, they might admire these other bands they sort of sound like, but they don't want to. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to be compared to anybody
Yeah.
else.
Well,
We don't-
it's like Greta Van Fleet saying, "Oh, we don't sound anything like Led
Right.
Zeppelin. You've never heard Led Zeppelin."
Yeah.
Give me a
Uh-huh.
break here. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry. As we
When-
say, rough and cool.
When the
I mean,
levee
come on.
doesn't break.
I'm sorry, but that's my first choice.
Cool. All right, Jamie, what do you got?
Well, I'll tell you what, up till this morning, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. And then last night, right before bedtime, I was listening to a certain album and I put it on my Let's Get Physical page on Facebook, by the way. If you like physical media, come on over to Let's Get Physical, my Facebook page. It's a lot of fun.
Shameless plug.
And I encourage drunk posting like I did yesterday. More drunk posting you do, the better. And I mentioned that it was one of 3 vinyl
Okay.
copies. And I said why I had that one, for starters. And I thought, you know what, this morning I should talk about some albums that I have multiple copies of and why I have them. Because I don't know if there's some people out there that think, like Aloe says, I got 7 copies of what Black Sabbath, whatever. I don't know if people think we just buy these because of the hell of it. The hell for it? For the hell of it.
The hell of it.
That sentence was like all the words were jumbled up in my brain.
Yeah.
Sorry,
what
I
he
had a
said.
lot of Coronas yesterday.
Definitely
A
hungover.
lot of
folks.
Coronas. I got the fan on me. I'm hanging by a thread. Where was I? So, yeah, we just don't buy another copy just for, hey, won't it be fun to buy another copy? There's actual reasons. So I wanted to justify my reasons for having all these copies of these albums. I wanted to start off with Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. I said it before, you don't truly love an album unless you have 3 or more copies of it. I don't make the rules. That's just, I kind of made that rule. But in my mind, that's what it is. I have the very first copy ever that I had when I was 13. These cassettes were made back then. It was 2 for 1. You had on one side Paranoid, on the other side Heaven and Hell. And these were like $10.99. So for $3 extra, you got an extra album.
I had a couple of those.
Yeah, and I have a Van Halen one downstairs too, but this is my original one. It does not play anymore. But I mean, my little 13-year-old hands were on this thing, playing it over and over and over again. I ain't getting rid of that. That's history. That's Laszlo history. So yeah, I still have that copy. And man, I used to listen to Heaven and Hell all the time and barely listen to the Paranoid side.
Yeah, what a weird twofer.
Yeah. But, I've come around on Ozzy, of course, like by the time I was 15, the Ozzy era. So then, of course, 1987 or 88, I bought it on CD because you got to upgrade. But I'll tell you what, I had this for years and the volume is just low on it. It was one of the first CDs. So I had like a 200 disc player, I remember in the 90s. And when you had it on random, you always had to turn up the volume when this came on. And it was a pain in the ass.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
So
that was actually the case for a lot of those early Sabbath CD pressings for whatever reason.
Yeah. So in 2007, I rebought it on a whim saying, I bet you it's a little louder these days. So I did. And it is a little louder. So yeah, sounded better. And then, then I started getting into the vinyl. You know how vinyl started to make a comeback in the 2000s, 2010s. So it bit me in the ass. So I'm like, I gotta go buy it on vinyl. So I bought the damn thing on vinyl, and it's VG plus, and it was only $14 at the time. Now these things go for 30.
Yeah.
Any metal on vinyl that's original pressing, dudes or chicks don't get rid of their metal vinyl. So every time I see a big load of vinyl that's metal in one of the record stores here, I think someone died. Sucks.
Oh God. Okay.
So, and
Some
then
metalhead bought it.
a few years ago,
Hopefully they're just bankrupt.
yes. Well, this metalhead bought it, but bought 7 copies along his lifetime.
Oh Lord.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet. I feel like I could any second now. But I went to a record store and they had a 1980. Well, who knows? It could be from 1980. It's definitely the early 80s of a pressing still sealed, never opened.
Okay.
You got 1980 air in there. I'm like, you know what?
Wait for that.
$30 for
Smells of
something-
Ronald Reagan.
I'm buying it, and I'm never going to open it. I mean, it's been 40 years. I'm not opening it now. The hell with that. So it's just, this is like collector bullshit. This is the collector in me. This isn't the music lover anymore. Now it's the collector.
It's the
So-
curse, folks.
And what do I do with it? I just slide it into my 2,500 albums, and there it sits. You can barely see it, but up here, I know it's there.
Yeah.
You've got it. That's the thing. Yeah.
That's the
And you
important
don't wanna-
part.
You know why? Another reason why you don't want to open these when you buy them. It's been 40 years. It could be warped in there.
It'll be warped. The
It's
sleeve will
better
be.
not
yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
You put it on Discogs. You say near mint because you assume it's near mint. You don't want to open it and find it's in poor.
Mhm.
And then
But
a
are
couple
you ever
years
going to put it on
ago-
Discogs?
Right. And then a couple years ago, I'm not putting it on Discogs.
Of course
This
not.
came out, the reissue, the remastered with the live album and the live tracks. And you're like, am I really going to buy this album again? Then you're on Facebook and you see Pete bought it, and you see Aloe bought it, and a bunch of people in Butcher's Shop got it. And you're like, I want to be part of the club. So you go out and you buy the goddamn thing again. So there's my 7 copies of Heaven and Hell. And each one I think is kind of justified.
See, you don't have the
My
little
mind.
CD box set that came out.
Yeah, it sounds
I've
super
got
loud on
that.
CD.
I know.
Magic
That
number 8.
Blu-ray
you
audio.
know.
The wife is already pissed at me today for buying a Tron, so I gotta lay low for a little bit.
All right,
A little
smart.
bit means a day and a half.
There you go.
For the
Work-
record,
work-
I have 3 copies of Heaven and Hell.
Yeah,
You gotta have 3 or more.
yeah.
For the record.
I have 3.
It's literally on and on and on.
Yeah.
It's heaven and
I
hell.
got 7 copies of my next album, but I'll get to that
Okay,
on the
cool.
second round.
All right, Davey, you're up.
I'll switch my order because this actually follows on rather nicely from Black Sabbath. In October, which is fastly creeping up, isn't it? When you think how fast this year's flying in, seemed like a while ago when I bought the ticket. But I'm going to see Deep Purple, and obviously they're now missing Steve Morse. I'm sure everybody sends their best to Steve and his wife, given what they're going through.
Who's on guitar now?
The guy who's been standing, he's not
Simon
an
McBride. Simon
yeah, they're not going for a superstar replacement anymore.
Right.
I don't think they're intending to carry on terribly much longer from some of the buzz that's flying about. But I've seen them 4 times, and I probably wouldn't have gone this time, to be honest. But then they announced the support act, which is why it ties in nicely to Sabbath. The support act is Blue Oyster Cult. So they also have said
I got that.
probably our last time round. So I have about half of these albums. The cops always come for me
They're
when I'm on
coming
a
to get
video.
you, Davey.
don't
I
know
mean,
what it is.
Jesus
Every
Christ.
single time I do a video, the cop, you won't get me. Piss off.
Steal that? Did you steal the box?
Every time.
Try and get through those barricades, you bastards. Right, excuse me, where was I? Somewhere doing music. So I have about half of these, but they're on Laszlo quality CDs, as I mentioned. They're kind of like the old Columbia versions where the sound's variable. And then, of course, they get you with the bonus tracks and whatnot. So I thought, right, going to see BOC, I know the records, I've got them on vinyl, but to have them in a nice little you know, it's one of these, it looks more expensive than it actually was. This was £45. And it's the complete Columbia years. So you go, obviously, BOC, Tyranny, Secret Treaties, On Your Feet, Agents of Fortune, Spectres, Some Enchanted Evening, which is the expanded 2-disc version, Mirrors, Cultisaurus, Fire of Unknown, Extraterrestrial Live, The Revolution by Night, Club Ninja, Imaginos, and then you get 2 kind of extra discs to the set, which are the rarities. Kind of compilation, which has got like their EP, the Oyster called Bootleg, and then tracks that were released on various compilations as one-off things. Stephen King's intro for Imaginos from Astronomy, a cover of I Want You, She's So Heavy, you know, just cool stuff on that. And then the best of the broadcast, so one of these kind of radio show broadcasts from throughout the years that this kind of scoops up as well, which again it's just got the same old stuff on it, but it's just cool to have. So really just a really nice way to scoop them up in one fell swoop, and they're all on these terrific little replica, just like Columbia always do. You know, they always give you exact little replicas of what they're doing. You know, when they're originally issued as 6-eyes, they give you 6-eye labels on the CD. Even, you know, their attention to detail is pretty unparalleled for a major.
So you're only missing Curse of the Hidden Mirror, Heaven Forbid, and then the latest one, really.
And I've got Symbol Remains anyway, which is brilliant. And I've heard the other two.
That's a great set for anybody who's looking to
yeah,
it's very good. I
have it.
One,
it's a good
one
set.
fell swoop. So again, following on from Jamie perfectly there, because they obviously did the Black and Blue tour in 1980 after on the Heaven and Hell era. So yeah, it just fits perfectly in there. So I bet you they released that now, and you have to buy an 8th copy of the deluxe.
Oh, you know what I just remembered as you were talking. You might have saw me go like this. I have a Black Sabbath box set just like that with every Sabbath album in it. It was the best way to get all the Tony Martin albums, and Heaven and Hell is in it. So I got 8 Heaven and Hell.
see that.
And the
Davey, curse everybody. It is real.
I got so many that I can't keep track of them.
Can't keep track.
That's true.
And they are doing an actual Tony Martin box set now as well. So
Yeah.
It's coming.
Hey, Davey, real quick, how's the sound quality on those?
excellent. It's all the remasters, so it's not just the ones that they pumped out in the 80s that they've stuck onto CD. These are the ones that if you buy the $10 individual ones, you get this one. So it's all the versions with the bonus tracks as well.
I think the stuff that was re-released in the early 2000s.
2012.
I don't think they all got re-released though. I don't think they all got remasters. Like I think an Origin,
Mirrors, Cultist, Extraterrestrial, Club Ninja, Imaginos, all 2012 remasters. Some Enchanted Evening comes with a DVD as well. So yeah,
cool.
Good set. Good set. All right, Scott.
I have to buy it again now.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be back in a moment, guys.
He's away at the record shop.
Yeah, I guess. Scott,
am I up?
You are.
Am I on? Okay. All right. Well, ever since I did my first show with Pete back in December of 2020, I've been wanting to talk a lot about this artist. Been a fan of his since high school. I was fortunate enough to have seen him in concert twice, once in 1985 in Dallas and his final Austin show in 1990. Unfortunately, he's no this. He's one of the greatest guitar players that ever lived. Major icon of Texas music, and I'm talking, of course, about Mr. Stevie Ray Vaughan. And then on the day he died, my girlfriend and I, my wife now, went to candlelight vigil that very evening, and it was held at Auditorium Shores. At least I think it was. She tells me it was somewhere else, so maybe I'm getting the olds. Anyway, Auditorium Shores. That's where he had his final concert in Austin. And 3 years later, they erected a statue, which has become a major tourist attraction. We were there at the dedication ceremony. So I didn't think I was ever going to get a chance to talk on this show about him because I have pretty much everything, or at least I thought I did. Got the studio albums, tons of live stuff, bootlegs, odds and ends, etc. And so I thought I had it all, but I picked this up a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
at
Okay.
Piranha Records in Round Rock, Texas. And I think when this came out, I got it for $15. Pretty nice, which is less than for that new Porcupine Tree CD. And this has 3 CDs and a DVD. I think when it was released in 2000, I maybe glanced at the track listings and thought had everything on it, but that is definitely not the case. Also had a lot less disposable income back then, so I didn't get a lot of box sets at the time. First disc made up mostly of previously unreleased material that was recorded before Texas Flood, his major label debut.
Oh, wow.
He'd been playing in various bands in Dallas, around Dallas and Austin for about a decade before he made his major label debut in 1983. Most of those recordings were only available on long, out of print, small pressing, regional releases. If you can find them at all, they're gonna cost a lot. But it's nice to have them collected in one place, and that's pretty much what the first disc is for the most part. And discs 2 and 3 have some previously unavailable live material, plus a few songs that didn't make it onto the studio albums. And less than a third of the CDs, of what's on these CDs was previously released. So most of what's on here, you can't get anywhere else. So it's definitely worth your time if you're a Stevie fan. The DVD contains Stevie's appearance on Austin City Limits from 1989. Great, awesome set, but it's only about 30 minutes, and I wish maybe they'd put a little more on the DVD than that. That's about all there is. You know, would have been nice if maybe they included a documentary or maybe a full concert or something like that. But what's there is great. Certainly no complaints there. And really like the packaging. You know, got a nice, got some nice biographical information in it. Interviews with people that knew and played with Stevie. Got some great photos in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah. In his early days, before he wore the wide brim hat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's the statue I speak of. So, yeah, pretty great little set. If you don't have it, get it.
Scott, what's the name of that set again?
It's just called SRV.
SRV.
Okay.
SRV.
Scott, do you think, because I've always
that's
thought this
really good.
about Stevie Ray Vaughan, do you think that Stevie is just better live? Because I cannot get on with his studio albums half as well
Really?
as his live stuff. Yeah. I like them, but I just think he sounds so muted compared to what he is live. And that's why what Jamie's got there,
he's probably a little better
live,
live.
I think he's 100 times more interesting.
Yeah.
I think
he
you
was
can
really
hear
something to see.
I think considering it's the same label, I think you can hear somebody at Columbia saying, "Oh, too bluesy there. Maybe just make it a bit more commercial." But you know, you can always hear that record exec.
You got
background.
that, you got that feeling from listening to the studio albums. You thought they
from couldn't stand the weather and stuff.
Oh man, I love
and even the one with Jimmy Vaughan. I don't think that's a great
Family
record.
Matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of all his albums, that's probably my least favorite. I don't hate it by any means.
Yeah.
It seems like
I love them both. I love the
lead
Fabulous
on that.
T-Birds and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
it
see
is,
what
Jimmy
you're
though?
saying, David. I see what you're saying. It's
They're-
better
they're-
when you see his tricks too, when he's going
Yeah.
behind and you know.
Oh,
I have the same
exactly.
opinion about Rory Gallagher as well, because I think I like all his studio albums, but to me, his live albums is where he really shines.
Like a track like Edged
He
and
really
Blue
shows
by
you what he's
Rory.
capable
Imagine that
of in
live. It
live
couldn't
stuff.
work.
Yeah, that's
Couldn't
true.
work.
Yeah.
It'd be so bluesy live.
And I'm sure I'll get more stuff by him as it comes out, or as I find more bootlegs of concerts. But yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. And
Oh, he is. Yeah, I'm not putting him down.
this guy,
I mean,
it was
that
only
album
a matter
with,
of time.
That album with Albert King is one of the best kind of
Oh, yeah,
duo
that's a good
albums
one,
ever.
too.
In
Yeah,
Session.
I've got that one.
Oh, yeah.
See, for me, the danger is if I hear an album or songs of an artist that are live and are really good, if I hear the studio version, usually it doesn't live up to
After, right? Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
fact, right? Like it doesn't live up to it.
Yeah.
So I have to sort of retrain my brain to think, okay, this is not live. This is different. This is a studio version.
Yeah.
Live.
I suppose it
they-
depends, but when it's specifically blues, guitar, improv stuff,
Yeah.
you know, it just lends itself to expanded versions, doesn't it? So,
Yeah, it does.
Well,
Anyway,
I heard his studio stuff before I ever saw him or heard him live, so maybe I have a little bit different take on that. Texas Flood and Couldn't Stand the Weather are awesome albums.
Yeah, those are my two
Yeah.
favorites. Not even
Yeah,
close.
those are definitely the best, and I think they were maybe best as a trio. I mean, I still liked them with the keyboards, but
yeah,
those-
double trouble. Double
Flexibility.
trouble.
yeah, Double Trouble, and yeah, they added a third guy, but they still were Double Trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
He did have an
Trouble
early
wouldn't
band
work
called
about it.
Triple Threat.
Yeah.
So my first selection today, I was actually not planning on showing this today because up until a couple days ago, I didn't even have it. And thanks to someone on this panel who somehow miraculously had a extra copy and knew it was the only one in the entire Jethro Tull box set collection that I did not have.
Uh-oh.
Mr.
We
Nick
got the horses. Oh, songs.
Somebody's brown nosing.
sent me Songs from the Wood. So now I have them all.
Cha-ching.
have 'em all.
Cha-ching.
The only one I don't have is the one that's coming out, you know, in later this year or next year.
Broadsword,
Sword,
Next
yeah.
April.
Yeah.
They look good.
That
on the
is
shelf, all
amazing.
next to one
That-
another.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I haven't put this one up on the shelf yet, but it's because I'm still kind of, you know, going through it. But just so everybody knows, I'll just quickly, you know, if you're not familiar with these Jethro Tull box sets, they are the best.
They
Oh, yeah.
are amazing. That is an amazing set.
I mean, it's just got this like 100-page book built in here with photos and tour dates and all sorts of stuff. Whoops. And
Is that one of the
And
ones
the-
that are out, that's out of print going for big bucks?
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I've noticed that they're now, they're now
$250.
starting to not do that because people have obviously seen what's just happened where they re-released
Thick as a
Thick as a Brick.
Yeah.
So they're worried that obviously that's going to start happening, so they're not paying $300 anymore. So.
Yeah. So basically what you get on here is on disc one. So it's this is what, a 3-disc set plus a DVD. On disc one, you get a Stephen Wilson remix, stereo remix of the whole album. And I'm a big fan of what Stephen Wilson has done on the Tull catalog.
Yes.
Some of my favorites. In addition, you get associated recordings, which are all the bonus tracks that were not on the original album, which if you've been collecting these Tull box sets, Ian's been holding on to some of these, you know, unreleased tracks for decades, and then he puts these box sets out, and you're like, wait a second, why was that song not on the regular album? So here you got Old Aces Die Hard, you get Working John, Working Joe. Some of these have been released. Magic Bells, Ring Out, Solstice Bells, Song from a Moon, Wood Uncredited Master, Fire at Midnight, One Brown Mouse, and Strip Cartoon. Then you got a single mix of the Whistler. Now here's the reason to have this or want this. CD2 Live in Concert 1977, which is just fantastic. And it's a two discs of the entire show, remixed by Jocko Jaksic from King Crimson. And then you got a DVD with the audio versions of everything. Just absolutely amazing. Plus the video of the live.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that was the first one to have
said,
video, wasn't it?
What's that?
Sorry, I thought that was the first one to have video, wasn't it? I think because that was
yeah, you were right. So, you know, most folks who have all of these have said that if this isn't the best one, it's the top two. It's 2 or 3. You know, there's a couple of them that are like, I mean, you know, like Too Old to Rock and
Roll, Too Young to Die.
That one is like, to me, one of the worst ones because there's really not much extra of interest on there, but you got to have it, right? But like this, Aqualung is tremendous.
Thick as a Brick is probably the worst one, ironically, even though it's a classic, because there's just no extra material.
I know.
Songs from the Wood, I heard you say that, and I've avoided that one for that reason.
A is great, and you can get that cheap.
A is really good. Stormwatch is also one of the best ones.
Yeah, I've got that.
I think Stormwatch
is amazing.
Stormwatch is probably the best just for the unreleased material, even if you don't like the actual album.
Yeah.
Whereas Songs from the Wood is probably the best combination of it's a classic album and the material is great. Whereas Stormwatch, not the best album, but the extra stuff's great.
I love that.
Actually, you know what?
To be honest, all of
Stormwatch.
these, you might as well get because the extra material every time is just.
I think benefit.
It's a new album every time. It's a new album.
Yeah. So
all I'm gonna say about Stormwatch is I got the set, and I listened to the album, and I thought it was fantastic. I listened to the additional disc of, bonus stuff. They could have done for a reissue a double disc of that version of Stormwatch with the extra tracks as another disc.
Like a
And
double
it would
album.
have sold. A double album. It would have sold big time. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is
That's the selling
amazing.
point for the box set, though, isn't it? So,
Yeah, but what's even crazier is that Ian held on to this stuff for all these years.
I know.
yeah, despite the
I
fact
know,
that
it's
he's
like
already had
unreal.
about 300 box sets as well.
You
It's
know,
like,
right?
well, this wasn't good enough for your 900 box
He's like, "Nah,
sets.
I'm going to save that for 2019, and because I'm sure we'll release.
And he's such a meticulous man that you like to think he's had this in a ledger all this time.
Probably.
And then that young Stephen Wilson chap will do a remix in 2021.
And it's got to be said, Stephen Wilson's remixes on these are bloody amazing.
I don't even think it needs to be
great.
said, to be honest. I think that's just
Yeah,
taken
they're
as read now, to be honest.
So, Nick, thank you so
Oh, I
much.
did
I
say
appreciate it. And that is my first selection of today. Like I said, was not even planning on showing that because didn't have it. So, and back to Nick now for his final pick of the day, or picks as Nick does.
I gotta get going to work after this, so. But there's a little bit of there's generation gap. We all know what that is. Like, my interests are a little bit different than yours, Pete or Scott, and stuff like that, which is fine. That's what makes the world go round. Now, I'm a fan of Japanese cartoons. My girlfriend would kill me. She heard me say that. Japanimation, anime, whatever you want to call it. Like, I've gotten some vinyl here from a guy I know down in Oregon, Ohio. So just a whole bunch of vinyl that I just have, which is leading up to what I'm doing. So it's got the OV strip, which is pretty much the icing on the cake, the 60th part of it.
That says
Nick,
I paid a lot of money for this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's only Japanese if it has an obi strip. That's the rule. Yep.
So I got to ask you, Nick, when you get ready to put those on the shelves, what do you do with the OV strips? Do you leave them on there, or do you fold them up and put them on the inside?
I try and keep them on. Not
Yeah. You always keep them on. Yeah. Yeah.
What I do with the CDs is, like, if I get a CD with an OV strip, what I'll do is I'll take it off and I'll leave it as is, but just flatten it out and put it on the inside. Because otherwise that shit's falling off, like, and I'll lose it.
No, but you get to look at it on the shelf and go, oh, Japanese.
We all know what this is.
Yes,
the
we
internet's
do.
not forgot. Yeah.
Yes, you do, guys.
It took him a month, but he finally got it open.
Dun dun dun. dun.
I feel like we're doing the moon landing here.
It took a team of welders, but it happened.
So for those watching who have no idea what we're talking about here, you got to go watch last month's episode, because Nick could not get that sucker open on the last episode.
I had a flathead screwdriver, because this set on eBay is $500 USD. That's why
That's because you put the price up by making it go viral.
Pretty much.
We were all rooting for him. Come on, Nick. We know you can do it.
It's rare. It's pretty rare. So it's pretty much an anime called K-On! I'll go over it again, where a whole bunch of Japanese schoolgirls develop their skills, and they hope to go to Wembley Stadium. It turns out Shea Stadium is in New York. It's Wembley that's in the UK, and they also want to go to the Budokan. Now, the Japanese have a word for healing, iyashike, because Japan's an overworked country with one of the lowest birth rates, so they hopefully want to. Here's the movie. I have yet to see the movie. They have in case you're wondering how it's music related, yes, they have a bassist, a drummer, and a vocalist. So this may be really, really stretching it, but it does count. This is the book with all the episode summaries and stuff like that. So
is the show about music? Is that
yes.
at the end of, I don't know, Josie and the Pussycats? So.
Kind of, in a way, yeah. It's a slice of life, performing. I'm like, this is actually, yeah. So you can tell there's a lot of goodies in here. An art book, the Blu-rays, all that shit. Here's the the movie concept reference from. I'm not going to go over every single one, but you can probably find the images illegally online.
Legally.
just don't Google Japanese schoolgirls illegal, please.
Oh God, we don't need any hentai. Anyway, and then there is actually a CD with the musicians who performed all the notes. Got a whole bunch of like postcards and stuff like that, because when it comes to box sets, Japan is very sui generis. That means that is Latin for unique. They will provide some of the nicest, coolest
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
charge a lot. of money.
Molto bene.
Yeah. So
Veni vidi vici.
I'm
Pretty
glad
much.
I got that open up.
got that one right. Told you it was worth.
Cool. It only
So-
took him a
never
couple
got-
weeks.
He practiced last night to get ready to go for today.
Yeah.
I never got into Japanese animation because every time I watch it, I just feel like I'm watching an episode of Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Same here.
All the
Yes,
rage.
Ah, well,
All the
Generate.
rage.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's nice, Nick. It's a good collection there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm even more confused as to what it is than I was last month, but it looks nice.
All right, listen, I gotta get going to work, so I appreciate
All right.
everyone. Take care and rock on.
See you, Nick.
Take care, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Take care, Nick.
All right, Armando.
Okay, for my last selection, I'm going to bring Bob back into the shot. And if you hear noises and barking, we got two puppies running around. Enough said. What we have
The
here,
box set that Bob doesn't like. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
yeah, What we
Bob's
have
holding
here-
that begrudgingly.
guys and ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land, is Lotus from Santana from 1974. This was a triple album that was released only in Japan. It was recorded in Osaka, Japan, July of 73. Released as a triple album in 74 in Japan only, released as a double disc in the US, North America, in 1991. This version is the SACD triple disc version, the entire concert. That's fine. It's fine. You just cover my face, no big deal. This version of the CD, again, it's the entire concert. It's 3 CDs. And again, with the OB strip, I kept the OB strip. I found this on Amazon through a secondary seller for $108. Okay. It's a little pricey, but this was going, also we get cards for the different card, like
Nice.
pictures of the band and
I
other things like that. So
I'd sleep with that box set.
I almost did. And you got booklets. It's a little bit of background. This this album was recorded off the tours of Caravanserai and Welcome. You know, this was when Greg Raleigh, my God, Neil Sean had left the
Sean, yeah.
band.
Yeah.
They had left the band, and he was going off into a more spiritual kind of meditative kind of a
Tom
situation.
Coster had joined the band at this point. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah. So, I mean, it's a beautiful set. The pictures are amazing. The script is the text is all in Japanese. So it's like, screw that. I can't even read that. But it's a fantastic set. Sound wise, again, yeah, he's showing more pictures here. So, this is that moment, right? So, sound wise, we have in terms of the sound, again, it's I compare it to a Steven Wilson mix because the instruments are brought up to the forefront, right, in the mix. So it's a very long, expansive album. Tracks like Incident at Neshaber is like 17 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it takes up all of side 2 of album 3. So I mean, it's an amazing set. I also have this on vinyl that I bought like 2 years ago. I've never touched it. I paid $250 for it, for the vinyl. So this is more yes, more easy to access in terms of playing it in the CD player. You can play it in your average CD player, like your standard CD player. It'll play. I'm just saying for me, well, you can use hybrid, but you can also use your average, CD player. It'll
Yeah,
still
no,
get-
hybrid SSDs are
Yeah.
all CD player.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
compatible. I'm just
In
saying,
Japan, people need to be careful because in Japan they do have SECD only. Where
Yeah.
if it doesn't have the hybrid logo and you don't have an SECD player,
Yeah.
you will be stuck with something you can't play.
all I'm saying is that in the mix for me is a richer mix. It's a fuller sounding recording. So yeah, this is my last choice, and I got it for like taxes. It was like $114. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this on Discogs was going for like $900.
Wow.
900. So to get this at this price, I had to grab it.
It's a great live album. It really is.
It is. It is.
Like
I have
the 70s
Moonflower.
jamming Santana. It's. I
How
think
many more tracks do you get?
Kind of
You get like
experimental.
depends on the track listing. I mean, you get about 25 to 26 songs. I mean, on this. But
How
I mean,
many were
it's
on the 2 disc, do you know?
Yeah, because I have the original CD version. And I don't.
18 or something.
Yeah, I
like
have
that,
the 2
16.
discs.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hmm.
But I'm thinking I wanted the full show. If I could afford it.
And you
I
do pay
wanna
the
get the
SECD
full
premium,
show.
unfortunately, don't you?
You
So
And it
Yeah.
starts off with like a track. Well, it's a track called Meditation. What it
Mhm.
is Japanese introduction to the show. And there was like a minute and like 15 seconds of silence. We're listening to it in the van, and Bob's like, "Is this thing gonna fucking start or what? Like, what's going on?" Right? Like, we couldn't hear a damn thing.
23 songs on here.
That's the one.
23?
That's the one I have.
You include like
So
some that
this
are like
then this
a
is
minute
this has
long.
got up to 29 at the
Wow.
Ooh.
so it pays for
Davey's
itself.
wheels are turning. It's like,
No, it's I'm just thinking better be a bloody good mix for 6 tracks for $100.
It's good. It's good. If I'm saying not everyone can afford it, but if you can afford it and you can find it and you can, because on Amazon, some of these secondary sellers, you have to read. And if it says in the description, fulfilled by Amazon, that the order is fulfilled by Amazon, you are guaranteed to get it.
Yeah.
Because they promise you that you will get the product. And it
Wow.
arrived.
oh.
I didn't know if I was frozen or
But there's always that moment, isn't there, where you think,
yeah, you don't
oh, it's
know.
me, it's me.
Someone's
Looking
like,
at
"Oh,
all you
is
guys to
that
make
this
sure you're
thing?"
He's back.
I
Oh,
actually
you're back.
got it, right? So
Froze up for a few seconds, Armando.
was
Yeah,
it
you're
sorry?
good. You're good now. You froze up for a couple.
few
Yeah.
seconds.
Oh, sorry. No, this is a fantastic set. So if anyone, when you find it, if you can afford it, go for it.
A great live album made better, it sounds like. So good.
Yeah, very much so.
Awesome.
Is it worth, honestly, Armando, do you think for someone who isn't a major Santana fan, though, like you are, is it worth the extra, another $100 plus for 6 tracks, even if it is super audio?
Yes,
Bearing in mind, you only get the benefit if you have a super audio player.
I still get the benefit from it. So I think it is worth it.
Davey, you know you're gonna buy it anyway. So just
I know I
I'd
shouldn't be
like to
asking.
get it, but
I
you're
shouldn't be
gonna have to
asking
come
leading
down a bit more
questions.
than
Let me
you know,
look.
it's like-
Where's my camera? It is worth it. Go for it. If you can
And tell me
do it,
more about these
ladies and
cards
gentlemen.
that are included.
Well, that's the
Go
thing, right?
get
It's
it.
all that extra stuff, right?
And Obi strip, you said.
Obi strip.
you can't
The
see his
Obi strip
phone, it's
alone is
already
like
you're
in the cart.
freezing.
Yeah, the Obi's the selling point there. Yep.
The Obi
Yeah,
strip,
no.
the cards, the book.
Yeah.
There's the $100 right there.
And
Right.
thanks to Bob/Vanna White for his presentation today.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
All right,
Bob's,
Jamie.
oh, thank God for another month.
Hey, hey, remember that episode we did on Monsters Den of the most disturbing movies? I
Yes.
got like 14,000 views.
Yes.
Unbelievable. 2 days later, I went to the record store and I saw the soundtrack to Henry Portrait of the Serial Killer.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
that's
On,
a hell of a movie. Yeah.
on
You
blood
said,
splattered
oh
vinyl.
Jesus.
And
Oh,
I
wow,
was like,
yeah.
That's just.
that's being bought today. So I just wanted to. I thought that was fun.
Although the most disturbing things in that aren't even the blood to me, it's just the whole tone makes you feel like you need a shower.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a decent soundtrack. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
rockabilly.
That episode was a
85
little
rockabilly.
disturbing from the monsters.
All
It
right.
was just
Just shows you how many depraved people just Google the words, you know.
I kept looking behind me when I was watching it. He was going to come
Yeah.
up behind me and do something to me. Like,
People who just want the most disgusting filth they can find on the internet.
Yeah. Oof.
Like Nick, now he's not here. We'll just throw his name in.
Pat makes an appearance today. There you go.
Oh,
I always like it when I can
had
sneak
to happen.
in some Pat to squeeze her in. So yeah, this
Pardon
is
you.
my original cassette I owned when I was a kid. What did
I
you
had
say,
that
Davey?
cassette.
That you're giggling about
You,
that?
what did you say, Morley?
That I want to squeeze her in?
Repeat,
why did you ask
You know, I was
me?
about to say something, but this ain't Hudson Valley Squares. This is Curse of the fucking Collector. So let's keep it somewhat clean.
And it's a Sunday, for goodness sake.
That's right.
It's the Lord's Day. I have my cross on,
Day.
please.
That's the first one I owned when I was, and I wore it out. So a few years later, I had to buy another one in my teenage years. So I went through like 3 get nervouses. So I'm not getting rid of these because, I mean, you don't get rid of family portraits and you don't get rid of things like this. I don't see any difference whatsoever. So yeah, so there's 2 that I own. Then I eventually got it on CD, you know, in the 80s, in the late 80s. So there's my third. Oh, this is In the Heat of the Night. That's Pat's first album, 1979. God, that's so long ago already. So yeah, and then the vinyl age came, and you're going to record stores. God, there was a time when I was going to the record store twice a week. It was kind of ridiculous. But then I did find a good copy, you know, on vinyl. And here's the thing with Pat. Yeah, I love her, but she needs to reissue these on vinyl, man. The only way to buy these is like for $3 to $5 used at the record store, and you got to hope they're in good shape.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
let's get them out there and get all the 90s stuff on vinyl back on. You know,
A lot of them are hard to find on CD now too.
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't see them in the wild now that I think about it.
I see them used more than I see them new.
You won't find any of her stuff over here apart from the 80s, you know, Loves the Battlefields, and, you know,
right.
that's the only stuff you find over here. She never really made a dent.
Huh, that's too bad. So yeah, and how about it's been 20 years since an album?
Yeah, that'll do it as well.
You know,
Yeah.
Neil's always on Facebook going, I'm writing. No, you're not. You're not writing
War and Peace.
serious. Neil, come on. If you were, you'd release something. Well, I did go into a I bought this at the craziest place. I buy my Blu-ray movies used at a used video store place, and they have vinyl in there. Normally, it's overpriced. It's either the vinyl's either overpriced or underpriced. They either think they have something better than what it is, or they're giving away something that's cool and they don't realize it. So I did come across in there an Argentina pressing of it. And you can see like the Spanish there. What's it say? Who knows?
Okay.
It contains Heartbreaker probably or something like that. And it's got the Spanish all label.
That's cool. That's cool.
Shit, why you think I'm not gonna buy this? What was it, like $5 or something? Of course I'm buying that.
There you go.
And then, you know, in the 70s and 80s, they released these original master recordings. If you know what this is, and they all have that
Mo-Fi.
there. Yeah. And I don't know, they're supposed to sound better. That it was like recorded at half speed, remastered at half speed.
Mastered from Mo-Fi,
Yeah.
Mobile fidelity or something.
Yeah, Mo-Fi.
All that. I have the Kinks Misfits, you know, with this as well. And
one of my favorite Kinks records.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
But you need to have like a $10,000 stereo to get the benefits.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if you get Pink Floyd Dark Side,
how about 7,500 first? That's what I got. So
it's going to cost you a lot. Certain things are going to cost you a lot, like Dark Side of the Moon. This was $35 maybe. So yeah,
what's
fan, you know, you got to prove that you're a fan. And I think to myself, what if some fictional person who will never come into my house and look through my stuff and say, you don't have this, you're not really a fan? You know, it's a fictional person. It never happened, but I feel like it might, 1 in a billion chance. And then I feel like a schmuck. So I got to have it. And then my buddy who owns the record store that I go to, he set this aside for me because he's such a good guy at Used Kids Records. If you're ever in town, go there and tell him I sent you there. His name is Greg. He's always got beer in the fridge too, so he might give you one if he's, you know, name drop me. He gave me this because it has the hype sticker on it.
Yep.
It's the Powerful Rocker Heartbreaker and the Warehouse Records original sticker for $4.99. So that's really cool. So that needs to be in the collection. So yes, there you go. 7 copies. Each one has a reason why it's here in the house. It's just not, oh, that's fine.
8 copies, just 7? Sorry.
Yes, just 7.
7.
I should have 7 of her 7 the Hard Way album, but I don't. I only have 3 or 4 of those ones. Every album of hers I got, from the 80s, I probably got like 4 to 7 copies of.
Yeah, that was my next question. Which album is next that you have the most copies of?
Probably Crimes of Passion. Or Get Nervous, because then I got the picture disc of it, and I still have my original cassette that I bought that changed my life forever. That's in a frame downstairs. Yeah, I got her 1991 album. Is it 1991 blues album, True Love, on vinyl, which is kind of hard to get. And see,
that's a jazz album, right?
That's her blues album. Yeah.
Blues records, yeah.
And then she went on tour with Hall & Oates and did all the blues music, and everyone was pissed, but I was kind of enjoying it.
Yeah,
She's going up there. Yeah,
it was a different thing for her to do. She wanted to go in the blues.
Well, Bonnie Raitt just had a massive hit album, so it made sense, didn't it? So
I remember
more in
one
Bonnie
review.
Raitt's wheelhouse.
yeah.
I remember one review I read for that blues album. It said you should hurt to sing the blues. It shouldn't hurt to hear the blues. And I was like,
that's too harsh.
I
I remember that album when it came out. I mean, it was good. She
got played on the radio, amazingly.
Yeah.
What song was it? They got Paying the Cost to Be the Boss. Got played on the radio.
I remember hearing True Love.
Yeah,
you see them do that live. Neil tears it up on the guitar.
It's a shame Chrysalis didn't want to promote it. I mean,
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think right around the time Chrysalis was done promoting most of their artists.
Yeah, they were never that great to begin with. But
correct. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, Davey, I see the afternoon sun is.
Oh yeah, do you know? I was going to shut the blinds, and then I thought no, because I make too many videos with my good friends over in America, and they must think we don't get any daylight here. So
soak it all in.
This is the only vitamin D I get for months. All right. Pete, you did this one yesterday. This is just my daft throwing thing. You did that video with Martin. Excuse me, I said yesterday. I'm losing my time zones. With Martin in the Funhouse of album covers.
2 days ago. That's right. 2 days.
2 days ago. Sorry, I'm drunk right now. Never mind hungover. I thought, wow, I need to mention this. How about the official Mark Wilkinson coloring in book?
Look at that. Wow.
Where you get to color in all your favorite Marillion album covers or Fish solo album covers.
I have a Pat Benatar.
You can color in. Yeah, there's your.
That's cool.
Let's just jump in. There's even some Jethro, so it goes right up to date with Iron Maiden, which you did.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, I mean, there's script for Jester's Tear and Monsters Rock, and it's got loads of singles ones. There's Fish, Sunsets and Empires and stuff. And it goes Hawkwind, Sonic Assassin. So, the cool thing to get with these is you also get a little card signed by Mark.
That's cool.
So from the good folks at ISO Merch. And then you also mentioned the Rodney Matthews yesterday. He's got one as well. Rodney Matthews.
No Mean City
coloring in book. Exactly. And so if you've ever wanted to color in the tiger cover of Tigers with Pen Tang,
great cover,
and you want to maybe make that tiger purple and pink,
now you can.
You can make that tiger whatever color you want.
I always tend to go outside the lines when I color, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to screw
Did you say outside the lines or the lions?
The lions.
That's a tiger. Oh, you silly goose. And then my other weird pickup for this month that isn't my actual choice is look at this. Paul McCartney and Rupert the Bear.
The world.
Does anybody know what Rupert the Bear is in America?
No.
I've heard of it.
He's not Paddington. He's not Winnie the Pooh. He's like the third rate. But Paul McCartney did a picture disc of a single with Rupert the Bear called The Frog Chorus, We All Stand Together, which is an infamously bad song, which is just the frogs going boom, boom, boom. And Paul and George Martin produced this crap. So I found this and thought, that's coming home with me. The worst single ever on a picture disc with Paul McCartney dressed as a bear. That's coming
Was it
home
for
with
a
me.
kid show or something? Or no?
Yeah, Rupert the Bear. Trust
Kid
me,
show?
Did Paul
over
have
here,
young children at the time?
it was done for Paul bought the rights to it. You know the time that Michael Jackson stole Paul McCartney's rights to the Beatles? But yeah, he did, didn't he? He bought the rights.
Yeah, he bought
Michael
the
Jackson
catalog,
bought
yeah.
the rights
Yeah.
He bought
to
'em.
yeah, he stole them. Stole them, that's right.
Yeah, and he pissed off McCartney. Yeah.
Paul decided to invest his money in Rupert the Bear. Anyway, my actual choice, instead of just weird shit that I found this month, is,
Here we go.
and I think I like to pick one every month that isn't expensive or hard to get, because I think it's fun that people can actually play along and pick something up. It's the Old Grey Whistle Test, classic BBC live concert stuff. This is the box set, but the good news is it's all available in individual volumes, and this box set isn't expensive anyway. So it's 4 DVDs. And trust me, when I say it's not expensive, I mean literally about £10, so about $15 in total. 4 DVDs, just in a big old side
That's
tray
cool.
like that.
Yeah.
And people will be familiar even if they don't know the actual show of the Old Grey Whistle Test, because I'm sure we've all got live at the BBC things, or when you Google a great live version and you see it in a BBC studio that's completely bare, that's the Whistle Test from the 70s. I'll just pick out some of the real highlights here. There's a terrific solo piano version of Tiny Dancer by Elton John. And again, these are all from the actual time. Under My Wheels by Alice Cooper. And again, all contemporary. Rory Gallagher does Hands Off. The Wailers, before it was even Bob Marley and the Wailers, do Stir It Up. Do the Strand by Roxy Music. Captain Beefheart, Upon the My Oh My. Little Feat's Rock and Roll Doctor. John Lennon does a terrific Stand By Me. The Sabs do a fantastic Give My Compliments to the Chef. Skinner do Freebirds. Again, I'm just kind of picking and choosing here. Meatloaf does Paradise on the Paradise by the Dashboard Light. On the back,
legendary. Yeah,
that is one of the
Yeah,
greatest
that's good.
performances you will ever see in your life.
Oh my God.
Tom Petty does American Ghetto on his first ever world tour. Springsteen does Rosalita just when Darkness was coming out. The Ramones, Rock and Roll High School. U2's first UK TV appearance doing I Will Follow. Loggins and Messina, The Who do Relay. Argent, God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Montrose do Bad Motor Scooter. Bebop Deluxe. Maiden, no, but this is a great thing. This is dirt cheap. Yeah. Joan Armatrading, Hall & Oates, She's Gone. Susie and the Banshees, Gary Moore, Don't Believe a Word. The Undertones, just the Style Council, and then even on disc 4, which is like a bonus disc, Roger Daltrey solo, an amazing Humble Pie Black Coffee. Fairport Convention, Freddie King. Brinsley Schwartz, Surrender to the Rhythm. So before Nick Lowe was solo, Brinsley Schwartz. Robin Trower, still with Jimmy, doing a little bit of Sympathy. Supertramp Dreamer, Jumpin' Jack Flash by Johnny Winter. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat. I mean, on and on and on and on and on.
Wow,
it's just an absolutely sensational set. So this is volumes 1, 2, and 3. Volume 1 was a 2-disc set, but you can get all of them individually for. I double checked just to make sure that I wasn't talking at my backside here. All of them you can get. You might need to import them where you are, but you can get for literally £1, £2, £3 for the most expensive one, or the box set you can get for about £10. And believe me, there are hundreds of pounds worth of actual value in this because it's just sensational. Everything live, everything raw and stripped, and everybody doing contemporary in the 1970s. So it's just sensational. So compilations aren't for everyone, but this, to be honest, should be for everyone.
Davey, is that DVD only, or they have a Blu-ray as well?
DVD only, but I did double check region coding as well. Volume 1 certainly is region 0, so there's no compatibility issues apart from obviously PAL to NTSC if you have any issues with that, but
Yeah.
a Blu-ray player won't have those issues. So if you stick it in a Blu-ray player, it'll play anyway. So yeah, it's volume 1 to 3, Ogre
I'm
Whistle
on the
Test,
hunt.
the definitive collection, and you will get it dirt cheap.
That's good stuff. Wow.
I'm on the
Very cool.
hunt.
Yeah, that's
It's,
like, you know,
it's
we
all video. It's all video of these performances.
Yeah.
So when you put
Yeah.
it in, what happens? Does it just go like at old school MTV, one video to the next?
Track selection, you can skip and make your own playlists. There's commentaries from all the presenters who did the shows.
See, I like that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, over here it's still referenced in kind of like angelic terms. You know, the Ogre Whistle Test is just a byword for absolute quality. That people that will always be kind of revered and mentioned in hushed reverential terms, because it's a byword for 1970s and 80s classic performers playing at their absolute peak, without any holdbacks. If they had a 12-minute track, like Pete said, he's seen the Meatloaf version, they played for 12 minutes. There was no, you have to do your radio edit cuts.
I saw that piece, and he was making out with Carla DeVito at that point. Like,
yeah,
oh my God, it was just.
Yeah, we didn't have any program like that here in the. I mean, the closest thing
We
was
had
like the
Midnight Special.
and Don Kirshner's rock concert. That's basically it. We really have anything like that, you know.
I know those midnight specials have been available, or at least like a best of.
They were,
Yeah, they have. Yeah, but that's a fantastic set, Davey.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, and you get, again, I like to pick something each month that people can actually pick up reasonably affordably, and trust me, folks, you will find that even if you need to import it, the import fees won't push you too far on that. It's just essential.
Cool, awesome.
Looks cool.
All right, Scott, your final pick of the day.
Sir. Final pick of the day. Picked this up at Waterloo Records last month for a mere $15. That seems to be my magic number today. And it's David Bowie's Bowie at the Beeb. This is the special edition with a bonus disc.
Yep.
I got shivers.
First two discs were recorded for the BBC between 1968 and 1972. And the third disc is part of the special limited edition, and that was recorded at one show in 2000. The first two, they're like, I don't know, like 8 to 10 different sessions he did between 68 and 72.
Including this one, Scott. He's on here, by the way, doing
is he now? That's cool.
Oh, You Pretty Things is on here. Yeah.
I would say very few artists or bands had as good of a decade in the 70s as Mr. Bowie did, either commercially, artistically, or in just talking about range of material. He was just firing on all cylinders. And I just can't get enough of his music from this period. Performances on here by Bowie and the various bands he's with are tight and energetic. Sound quality is amazing. Sounds like he's in the room with you. First few songs on here were on his debut and are a bit on the folky side and maybe sort of Baroque sounding. But he's kind of finding his way at this point, and they're good for what they are. I'd say everything on here is excellent. I just wish he had done more of these throughout the 70s. Last session is in June of 72, just as Ziggy Stardust.
Ziggy's dying out,
started to become a household name, and we get to hear this from Mars on most of the second disc. Mix Bronson guitar, Trevor Bolder bass, Vic Woodmansey on drums, and Nicky Graham on piano, who I believe was guesting. I don't think he was the regular pianist. And also the third bonus disc. Oh, see if I can get this open. Nick's not here, so it's no fun. Anyway,
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So that's the first two, which was originally the first two, and it got re-released with this third one, which is the third, the 2000 show. And it's a very good set from 2000. Not quite on the level of the first two, but he's still an excellent voice here, and it's a pretty strong set for the most part, sticking mostly to material he had released after those original sessions. Band sounds great, and Earl Slicks on guitar. and he played with Bowie for many years on various tours and albums. And I almost included this as well, and now I got to find it, but well, I'm not going to look for it now. But I also got the Santa Monica '72 set.
Oh yeah.
I have that. That's
which
good.
is
That's
awesome.
a good one.
Yeah. So that's my second pick.
You know what's amazing about
to be-
Bowie?
What's
I
that?
saw Bowie in 2004-ish when he came through Columbus for the last time.
The
And
reality tour.
it was at a venue that held maybe 2,500 people, and that's about it.
No kidding. Wow.
And
Yeah, I saw the same too.
And-
Reality. tour.
Nice.
Yeah.
and a few years ago, a Bowie tribute band came to Dayton, and the tribute band played a venue bigger than where I saw Bowie.
It's true. It was. There were complimentary tickets for that performance when he played here at the similar sized arena, 2,500, 3,000, and you could stand outside and get free tickets to see David Bowie.
Yeah, it was the reality tour? I think?
Reality.
Yeah,
tour.
it was reality
Yeah.
tour.
They must have sold out like
I
instant.
have both those albums.
No.
I got tickets pretty quick, and it
Yeah,
was
it was-
sold out. Yeah.
It was
How
easy to
fast,
get
I don't
tickets
know.
here. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
I
People,
imagine.
it's kind of bizarre to think about now because nobody. He didn't say it was his last tour. If he did, he could have played to massive.
Right.
The set list was
Right, it's cool.
unreal.
Yeah, it was a
It
great
was.
test, really, which he'd
Yeah,
never really done.
it's a pretty strong set list
Yeah.
from the 2000 show. I mean, a pretty good variety of stuff. So a good mix of hits and deep cuts.
But he always said he owed his career to the BBC, so that's quite an interesting set because it was kind of floundering before Top of the Pop performance of Starman, where he puts his arm around Mick Ronson and they do that version. That kind of
Right.
propelled him to
Yeah.
the real superstardom. That was the one performance that made him go from he's kind of cool in the NME to
And that
literally
one-
posters on the wall overnight kind of thing.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
one gesture kind of caused
Yeah.
a little controversy.
Nice.
too.
I've
That's the
seen
reality
that
tour.
before.
You can get that
Yeah.
cheap too.
I've
real
got
cheap.
that.
Yeah.
I've got both DVD and
I-
CD of that. Yeah.
I saw it before, but I passed on it. I'm sure I'll pick it up eventually.
Cool. All right, so my last, I'm actually going to show the two that I planned to do for the whole episode before I got the Songs from the Wood box set, and I'll go through these real quick. So the first one, I just got this, I don't know, a week or so ago, and this is a new reissue of the 1969 album by the Grateful Dead, Oxomoxoa, or however the hell you
Yeah.
say
How the
that.
hell you say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I say Oxamoxa.
Oxymoxo,
Oxomoxoa,
whatever.
I don't
Okay.
know. Never knew how to say it. So it's got the original album remastered with the original 1969 mix, and then it also has the 1971 remix, which has never been officially released before, which is pretty cool. They don't sound glaringly different, but there is a difference, which is kind of neat. And then on disc 2, you get a full concert for, well, I don't know if it's absolutely full, but it's probably not a full concert, but from the Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco, California, from January 24th, 1969 through January 26th. So I guess it's highlights from those couple of shows that they played at the Avalon.
Yeah.
And I will say the sound is impeccable of the main album, both the original mix and the remix. But the live disc is really cool because if you like the real psychedelic, jammy, noisy Grateful Dead, this is for you. It's just, man, they go off into all sorts of weird. It's just, I was listening to this the other day and I'm like, holy moly. And on there, it's got New Potato Caboose, Dupree's Diamond Blues, Doing That Rag, Alligator, Caution, Do Not Step on Tracks, which is wild, Feedback, which is wild. They did a lot of the stuff they did live back in the day. And We Bid You Goodnight, Clementine, and Death Don't Have No Mercy. So it's pretty cool. And, here's to see, kind of see what the whole package looks like.
That's cool. I like that.
That is
package.
nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And then you get a little, because of course you got to have a little booklet, right? In here.
Uh,
Love that
I
album
love
cover.
the
man.
artwork on that.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is really sharp. Like, yeah.
Although I'm sorry, Pete, I'm team pop off on this. Stick me in a room with American Beauty and Working
And that's
Man's
fine.
Dead.
I know a lot of people
Everyone's
are like,
got their opinion,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's-
Uncle
can
Joe.
keep it
Hey,
all.
this is my opinion, Armando. Stop shouting me down.
You guys can keep it all. No temptation.
you
there.
really want to go there with me?
I know you don't like the Dead. I know.
Worst concert
Go
I
there.
ever saw.
Yeah. And the other one, and then I got that from Amazon. This next one I actually bought when I was at Ken Golden's house last weekend. Ken, of course, is the owner of the Laser's Edge, and he happened to have the brand new deluxe edition of UFO Forset, which got the slipcase, and of course, it's got the regular album remastered with the bonus track A Million Miles, which was a session track left off the album. And then on CD2, you get Live at the Record Plant in Los Angeles, California, 1975 full show, which has, of course, introduced by Billy Graham, and it's got Let It Roll, Doctor. Did it have
Bill Graham, by the way? Billy Graham would be quite a different.
I've said that before, yeah. No, but I'm trying to remember now if it's Bill Graham. I've had a couple recent live ones. No, I don't think Bill Graham introduces this one. I think I said that. But anyway, it's got Let It Roll, Doctor, Oh My, Built for Comfort. So again, this is very different from the set list on the Strangers in the Night. Out in the Street, Space Child, Mother Mary, All or Nothing, This Kid, Shoot, and Rock Bottom. And Shoot, and Rock Bottom are tremendous on here. So this is, of course, is very early. This is before Paul Raymond came on board. So this has Danny Perionel, whatever his name is, however he pronounces his name on keyboards, right? So yeah, it's
I gotta see if that's on my box.
That's the third time you bought that album, Pete?
Yeah, at least, if not more. Yeah. That's cool. It's got like a little fold-out poster and whatnot.
Although I always think those are a bit silly, because who's actually going to use that as a poster and get rid of their booklet?
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, nobody.
Yeah,
certainly not me. But yeah, it's quite good. And I almost wasn't going to buy it, and then I was just, but then I was looking at the live set, and I'm like, oh, because the original.
Ken said, if you don't buy another one, you ain't get more ribs, Pete.
Yeah, I know, right? The original remaster of Forset had, I think, 4 live tracks on it. So in addition to A Million Miles, the bonus track, you got 4 bonus songs, live songs. 2 of them were from this show, and then there were 2 other ones from 1976. So I was like, well, this is kind of a no-brainer. So that's that. Added to the because of course we have the.
I'm seeing Schenker on Friday night. It's a 300 seater, 300 people. Michael Schenker.
Nice.
Can't wait for it.
Just be prepared for the first 10 minutes of the show. He's gonna bust on his brother.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Ronnie Romero on vocals though.
Oh, I like Ronnie.
Yeah.
I like Ronnie. So, anyway, there we have it, everybody. Another program of The Curse of the Collector. Tune in next month and see what other kind of shit we've picked up. So,
True enough.
There will be more. So,
there will be more. If you want more Japanese schoolgirls, leave it in the comments. Nick will have you sorted.
There you go. So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all
the time.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Stay tuned for the Hudson Valley Squares tomorrow night for Armando Venditti, Nick Usofian, who's off to work, Jamie Laszlo, Davey Gallagher, and Scott Berry. I am Pete Pardo. See you all real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your Sundays.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.